And we are back for our final game of the group stage between Team Red Horse and MOOM Esports. I'm Atomo, joining me is Mike Lee Phoenix. Mike, how did you enjoy that second game of the day?
It was a lot of fun. A lot closer, obviously, between those two. Ford Gang and Disgraced Familiar Girls, my favorite name of any team that I've ever heard. But yeah, very close game. And, Otomo, I'm looking forward to another close game. Hopefully we have that on our hands right now between Red Horse and MOOM Esports.
Yeah, Team Red Horse, on paper, definitely one of the strongest teams. They do have Gia, who's ranked 100. But let's go see how they're drafting right now. And Red Horse hasn't picked anything. They did ban the TA and the Medusa. They don't like those big farming enemy carries. They don't want to deal with that. And they take the Dragon Knight for themselves.
Yeah, it's fair enough, I think. Nobody likes playing against those farming calls,
Ugh.
especially if you want to... Maybe Red Horse is already intending on running something very aggressive, so it's like, we don't want to deal with that TA, that Dusa. Fair enough. Just straight into the DK, and, I guess we can say it already, potentially DK Murano to come out for Red Horse.
Oh, well, that's always a fun combo to watch. But we want to give you guys a couple of updates. Firstly, right now, Red Horse has one win. MOOM Esports has no win. And I think the third team in their group also has one win. So if MOOM wins this game, we will have a 1-1-1 tie. So a three-way tie.
Remaining.
Red Horse wins, we won't have any issues. So we might have a little bit of a tiebreaker if MOOM can win this game.
Remaining.
A little unlikely because Red Horse, again, on paper, seems vastly ahead, at least in terms of ranking.
Don't worry. I mean, it's Southeast Asia, right? Southeast Asia tiebreakers always happen. So, I mean, like you said, it's unlikely, but if it does happen, I suppose I won't be too surprised.
I mean, when we saw Boom Esports get promoted to the Division 1, people were like, they got a free promotion. Maybe they didn't really earn it. Then they went like, 6-1 in the DPC, and then they won the regional finals as well. So, Boom sounds the same to me.
Very, very good point, Ottoman. They do sound very similar. And the draft has gone underway. I mean, you've got Oracle Hoodwink here for MOOM Esports. Dragon Knight Dark Willow is the opening for Red Horse. What are you thinking, Ottoman? How do you find these openings?
I like the Hoodwink
Remaining.
pick against the Dragon Knight. Good burst damage. Disables that
5
annoying
seconds
passive.
remaining.
Also good against the Dark Willow. We saw like late in the previous game, one sharpshooter basically almost killed the Dark Willow. So I like it. Not much burst damage from Red Horse, so Oracle should be able to get her spells off. Sometimes they say his, and then I'm like, oh, it's a girl player, but it's a male hero. It's a little confusing. But yeah, I like the MOOM Esports opening. I think Red Horse is also pretty solid, though. Dragon Knight's always good, tanky, solid hero to have. Has multiple play styles.
10
Dark Willow does
seconds
give you a
remaining.
good amount of oomph as well with her damage.
Yeah. I always find
5
the Dragon
seconds
Knight
remaining.
versus Hoodwink kind of interesting, right? Because Hoodwink naturally counters it out with the sharpshooter, but then Dragon Knight obviously also counters Hoodwink because you have Blink and the Dragon Tail stun, which is immediate if you're in the melee form. So it's always a bit of a back and forth when you've got these two heroes in the matchup, and it's hard to say who really has the advantage again because I think in a good game, Dragon Knight will just terrorize Hoodwink the whole game.
For sure. The only thing is Hoodwink's advantage is that she can't stay very far behind, so it makes it a bit annoying for the Dragon Knight. Like he's like, I have to really dive in to get the Hoodwink. Same thing with the Oracle, which does make me think maybe Red Horse, if they go with these aggressive diving heroes like the Ember Spirit and the Puck, which were just banned, that would pay dividends for them.
10
Like these
seconds
two
remaining.
squishy supports, great to have Queen of Pain against them.
5 seconds
Yeah,
remaining.
certainly so. See if they do go down that route, though, as we are going to have to wait a few more banouts before we can continue with this draft. And it does seem like the emphasis by either side is being placed on the mid laners, just wanting to make sure they get rid of him. Nothing too uncomfortable here, especially MOOM Esports. Really wanting to make sure this Hoodwink doesn't struggle, I think, with the Ember Puck ban. And I wonder, I mean, last game around we saw mid Hoodwink. Do you think that might make a reappearance here
10
for MOOM?
seconds remaining.
It's very flexible, right? Like, it looked really good in that game. Yeah, the laning stage was
5
very bad for
seconds
Lulu,
remaining.
but she was up against Alina. Alina's a great laner. Hoodwink, in the mid, not as amazing. But after that, she was able to do a huge comeback. Once she got that Maelstrom, a couple of soul binds, really good. And hey, look, Queen of Pain got banned. We were just mentioning her. So I don't mind the Hoodwink mid, but you definitely have to know who she's up against. You do have last pick on MOOM Esports, so they can adjust. Well, we won't know until the very last pick if it's a mid Hoodwink or not.
No. Certainly
10
not.
seconds remaining.
MOOM Esports, they'll go into their third pick now, and maybe just, maybe just pick a
remaining.
core up here. Don't reveal what the Hoodwink's doing. Just keep it a secret till the last pick, if anything.
Yeah, probably a good offlaner. Maybe another Tide Hunter. Tide Hunter never bad, you know. One shout out to our
Radiant's
partners
team
Yahoo and
pick.
Intel for making this tournament possible. By the way, it is great to have this representation. This is an all-women tournament, and there's going to be multiple stages. Like this is just stage one of a pretty long league. We're hoping for. So, yeah, thanks again for both of these partners for making it possible.
10 seconds remaining.
Oh, indeed. It's been a great tournament. I mean, this is my first time showing up on it, but I've been enjoying myself quite thoroughly, so thank you very much to those guys. We do have the more picks coming out. What I'm interested in, Onomo, is you talked about the Shaman.
Yes.
Do you think this hero is very strong right now in the meta, based off the fact that it can catch, it disables, it pushes towers, and it takes Roshan by itself now, apparently? But what I wanted to ask you about,
10
this Slardar
seconds
pickup
remaining.
is what kind of confuses me.
Yes.
Because it should be an offlane
5
Slardar, but
seconds
we don't know
remaining.
the POS 1 of Red Horse yet, so they don't have to go for some melee core. Maybe they could just go for like a POS 1 Drow, for example, and just not care that they're against Slardar.
Yeah, I was like when you were mentioning that, I was thinking Medusa as well. Then I was like, oh yeah, Medusa's banned, so is TA. But yeah, you go with the Drow. Is there maybe even a carry Huskar if you feel like it? You do have options. At Shadow Shaman, like you can hold someone there for as long as you need to. There is a Hoodwink if it's position 4. What are they going to go with? They go with the Gyrocopter, another range hero that Slaughter kind of struggles against. If you have a Snapfire, though, I think that solves a lot of the problems of position 4 Snapfire, Hoodwink mid. So I think MOOM Esports could consider taking their carry now and
10 seconds
thinking about the
remaining.
Snapfire at least, because Snapfire Slaughter is a very strong lane, especially
5
against these two.
seconds remaining.
Yeah, that it certainly is. Let's see what they do want to pick up here, MOOM Esports. They certainly have the option, but if they do go for the Snapfire pickup, it does kind of indicate that the core Hoodwink is going to be what we're looking at here from MOOM. I guess they could potentially leave something like a Snap to the last pick, but then it might get banned out. We'll see.
Wraith King seems solid because Shadow Shaman could grab you for a long time. You might just die without being able to get anything, and they go for so it is gonna be. It could still be a mid Hoodwink. Lina Slaughter is a very strong lane. I mean, it's 90% gonna be the mid Lina, of course, but Lina Slaughter is pretty solid.
It certainly is. I mean, either way, it's very
10
strong that
seconds
the
remaining.
duo, whether you want to go Hoodwink, whether you want to go Lina,
Dire team
support
ban.
should be interesting.
Yeah, it's a very snowbally top lane for either side. Bottom lane for either side. Whether Slaughter Hoodwink could get a few kills, that's great. Gyrocopter Shaman, if they pull on ahead, they do so much damage with that. Actually, they don't really go with a lot of rocket
Radiant
guards, but
team
still,
ban.
like, you could get just a couple of points and still shred people down. So I think this bottom lane is going to be a lot of action.
That it will be. The final banouts to come. Red Horse naturally just focusing on position 1s right now. You'll see MOOM Esports. It seems like they're just trying to focus in on the mid lane.
10
Once again,
seconds
just
remaining.
making sure that they're not going to have too tough of a time. Then again, though, if you're running
5
like mid laner,
seconds
for
remaining.
example, that hero doesn't tend to lose very often in the
No.
mid lane, so you may not be too concerned.
Yeah, Lena always does pretty solid for herself. Red Horse, they do have options. Oh, there you go. They banned out the Wraith King, a hero that we thought might be pretty good. Physical damage is definitely going to be the goal for MOOM. You have the Slardar. You want to have someone who amplifies it. You also you get pretty decent magic coming out from the Lina, Hoodwink, and
Radiant
Oracle.
team pick.
You do.
Red Horse, who's going to be their last pick here? I definitely don't want the Dragon Knight mid. Like, yeah, he can do okay against the Lina, but I want something that can jump the Hoodwink and the Oracle. So, actually, all the spirits are banned. All the good ones.
10
What's wrong with Earth
seconds
Spirit?
remaining.
He's the runt of the litter. All right.
No.
Yes, he
Oliver,
is.
No.
He can't be. He doesn't play mid as well. He's the runt. He
My
is-
poor Earth Spirit.
he's
He
the-
never gets any love.
Hey, well, he doesn't deserve any. Let him carry a team once in a while. Then we can talk.
You know what? When you and I jump into a pub game, I'm gonna show you how great Earth Spirit is. This is my favorite hero, Otomo.
Oh,
My
God.
favorite.
All right, fine. You can take Earth Spirit. I'll take an actually good hero, and we'll see if we can win. But Red Horse, they're taking their time on the last pick
Dire
here.
team
Who are they going to go with? They go with. Oh.
Ooh. Okay, so
Mid
well, what's
mid
yes?
DK offlane ogre, or something like that could work.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, mid DK against Lena seems okay, right? Because
10
you just focus on
seconds remaining.
CS. You don't care about right clicks too much, and offlane ogre. I mean,
5
it's
seconds
something you see
remaining.
here and there, and it can be quite devastating. Like if it gets off to a good start, it's hard to control this core ogre. So I look forward to it if that is going to be the case.
Ogre was one of the heroes that helped me reach like 6,000 MMR. So
Wow.
I have a soft spot for the Midas Ogre, Blink Dagger, like Aghanims. You can do a lot with this hero if he gets farmed. I don't know how I feel about seeing this core Ogre, but all that thought, MOOM ESPORTS, they
You may
go
now
with the
select your
Wow.
Anti-Mage in the last pick.
Okay.
All right. That's a draft. I knew I was going to go with Red Horse regardless, just because the team is, they got Gia, they got a very impressive team coming into this, but very interesting draft from both sides, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. It should be a very interesting game. Just based off draft alone, while ignoring the teams, I kind of agree with you. I mean, Red Horse, I believe in their draft a lot more, and at Anti-Mage Pos 1, it's always one of those things, and it goes back to the earlier game we watched, right, with the Tinker in it. It feels like you really have to play around this hero. Like, it's just the constant 4 Protect 1, drag it out as long as possible, let this man farm, and I don't know. I feel like Red Horse just come out on top of this draft.
I agree, but to be fair, I don't think they can punish the anti-mage very well. Ogre, what was it going to be? Ogre, Dark Willow? That's not too bad. Like you should be able to get like a Ring of Health and survive against that. So I do think the anti-mage should be able to at least farm. I don't think he's going to be shut down. Sorry, she's going to be shut down as much as the Tinker was.
Okay. I mean, that's fair. See how quick they can react with that counter spell. Like, the thing is, you get caught by, like, say, a Blink Shadow Shaman into a Hex, you are kind of screwed anyway, but we'll see how all of it pans out, as tips are already coming out here for Miri. So, not sure what Miri's done, but... Oh, is this a mid-ogre we're looking at?
It is the
Perhaps? Look at
mid-ogre.
this. That's beautiful. I love it. I love it.
Oh my god. By the way, I've played with both of these two players on the team. I played with Miri, I think... Wait, when was the last time I played with Miri? Actually, I played like 3 games with her quite some time ago. Pretty good mid, actually. She usually takes Magnus as well, and the Void Spirit. So, you see one of your colleagues in the pub game, you can't help but root for them a little bit.
Of course. We did have a shout out there from our Gyrocopter Jill. Shout out Forsaken Clan NG141. So shout out to them. Hopefully they are watching and supporting their friends as Wans. He's spotted out here by Legea. He's going to eventually let them go. And we have another shout out. And Encore DR SA154. There you go.
How come me and you never shout out people? We should shout out our wives. Don't they sometimes watch? And, honey, I shout out to you.
Mine doesn't. No shout out for my wife.
See,
she doesn't get anything.
It's the exact same thing for me, by the way. It's like, you're gonna go cast? How many people are gonna watch you? Thousands? I don't care. Make sure you finish your games by lunch. I'm like, that's not how it works.
I had that happen to me once as well. I had a very long lecture with my wife about that one when she made that comment. Had to teach her the game. Still, mid lane, Miri against Yuri here. The Lina versus the Ogre matchup. How do you feel this one goes? I mean, obviously the Lina should have an advantage, but do you have faith Miri can make this mid Ogre work?
Yeah, I think you should be able to farm okay. Like we've seen the Ogre. Look at the regen. 6 HP regen, almost 7 armor. She should be able to shrug off almost all the punishment coming out from the Lina. Not as well as a DK, but good enough. So I think we'll be able to farm. And melee versus range, melee always has the advantage when it comes to CS at least.
Right. Of course, bot lane as well. You've got Chick and Nicotina against Gil and Gia. Again, I'm probably mispronouncing some of these names. I do apologize, but this bot lane, I suppose, if you can land a nice bushwhack here, Cheek can kind of follow up. Though he can go the other way as well, right? Like if you hold her shackles like that into the Rocket Barrage, it's gonna hurt.
What the hell is that red thing that she does? What's that? Like I've never seen that red. What is that?
The tongue?
Yeah, that's a tongue. I was like, is that a tongue? But it's the tongue of the thing on top of her or something?
It's It's the the animation, but I'm not sure what was on top. I think it's the rune or something.
Yeah, she's got a lizard on her head. That's why it looks like that.
There we go again. Tongues out. Jill gonna be going in, getting a lot of damage up, but doesn't actually use the rocket barrage on that Slardar. So doesn't really want to move too forward. In fact, we are gonna have a pause. So I think she may have been lagging there because it does seem like that may have been a good kill attempt to go for.
Yeah, the Slaughters are really suffering, by the way. Only 3 CS right now. And maybe, yeah, it's only 4 on the Jericho, but she's getting that 3 denies. And you can see Chariot a bit scared to sort of go in range of any damage. So that's worrisome. You are up against the Shadow Shaman as well as the Jericho. You have to trust the Hoodwink to be able to sort of cut the damage coming out from you. But Hoodwink, she actually has Bushwhack. So, yeah, just a bit scared from Chariot right now.
Yeah.
But she's going to go for my favorite item this patch, which is Bracers. She's going to go for those 2 Bracer build. I love it. Mike, is Bracers the best item in Dota 2 right now?
I think it might be. I don't know. I think it actually might be. It's every game, without a doubt, everyone's buying braces now. I guess, you know, depending on what hero you play, I don't know. Like, remember those Null Talismans on Storm? That was pretty busted.
That was pretty good. But then Ice Fraud had to ruin it for everyone, and they had to just change it.
Yes, he did.
But yeah, I'm loving Bracers, and if Chariot can get a couple, that will help because you are up against a lot of harassed Gia. Also, with that insane 80 base damage, makes it very hard for her to get last hits. Look at that!
Yeah.
Just look at that deny. Like 80 damage. How do you deny against that?
You don't. You don't really. You just gotta kind of sit there and watch your creeps die. And of course, we should talk about the last lane as well. I mean, top lane, AM matchup, obviously a bit of a struggle here for the baby as well. Lagaya doing a pretty damn good job. In fact, she might have a kill here. The baby trying to move forward, but she's walked into the root. Oh, she walked into the brambles. And Wands was not around to help on the Oracle, so first blood gonna be drawn here for Lagaya.
Yeah, that was just a little too much confidence. And Gia gets a kill on the bottom lane as well. So, yep, it's starting.
It certainly is. I mean, this draft from the Radiant, it's already very aggressive as it is. You give them a good start like this, and I think you're in a ton of trouble. And keep in mind, you are still trying to get this POS 1 AM going, so you're going to need to buy a lot of time here from this dire team, and they can't afford to give kills away like that right now.
To be fair, at least you do have like Alina, who's a great fighter, Slaughter as well, if you can get a meat tagger. So, yeah, it's a little bit of a struggle right now, but it's okay. You do have good space makers. You know, Hoodwink, great damage, Oracle, good here to have in a fight. So I'm not too worried about them. Like if they bleed a few more kills, then I'll start sweating.
Yeah, fair enough. Hazoya. Top lane gonna be fine as they're gonna try and focus in on the Dark Willow, but she'll be just fine as well. Keeping that clarity going. This top lane, I suppose the baby's still CSing just fine here on this this anti-mage. So, you know, happy days. Still bot lane. Gia, all going down, but not quite yet. She'll get herself out as Jill will kind of hold the line, and they are not going to be able to secure that Shadow Shaman.
Good try, though. At least forcing her back. She's, salving up. And also, Jill has no mana, so at least you're kind of like... You're not worried about any aggression coming out from the enemy side for a little bit, at least. And there's no mangoes either, so no mangoes on Jacob, no mangoes on Shadow Shaman, meaning there's not really much damage coming out.
The baby... Oh, top lane, gonna get rooted up again. No blink available right now, but it seems like they may not have the follow-up.
That
baby will be subbed up here by the Oracle.
That body block almost... yeah, that was like, get out of my way, man! Like, oh, there you go, Nicotina.
Bot lane, though. Yeah, Nicotina going down, and... Well, top lane again, they're moving in. Onto this Willow, Lagaya can be targeted. They should have the Mana Void if they need, but... No, in fact, they didn't. Still level 4. Still, Hazoya now going to turn back into the baby. Getting a lot of damage off, but not quite enough to get the job done. In fact, Wands still moving in with the Purifying Flames, but not enough.
And the baby also gets a nice tango here, so should be okay. And bottom lane... Oh.
Yeah. Bye-bye, Sharon. No survival.
Oh, well, it's tough, but this is what I expect. We said this lane is very snowbally and snowballing towards Red Horse. You know, Shadow Shaman Gyrocopter doesn't get much more damaging than that.
Feels like everything's going a little bit too well here for the Radiant. Like even Miri mid lane, we didn't talk about this Ogre very much, Otomo, but she's been farming up very freely this game, and top CS, even against the Lina, that's gonna be problematic, especially if Miri wants to go for that Midas build up. Like, you're gonna have a lot of farm on this mid Ogre. As top lane, the baby ends up dropping again.
And we have been seeing this in the last 2 games. One team, all the cores top of net worth. This other team, not quite, you know, on top of the net worth on any of their cores. And it's always resulted in a certain team winning. So they need to do something here on MOOM Esports if they want to get back into this game. It's gonna have to start with Kikuri.
Yeah, but when you say that, Kekuri gets stunned up. Ignite will be there. Lina. It does feel like one of those mid laners now where you are more dependent on just farming for a bit longer, getting those initial core items up, and considering the start, she's probably going to have a bit of a tough game. Just look at Miri. Just pushing in the mid tier 1, absolutely no contest.
Miri not rushing the hand of Midas, by the way, which I don't know how I feel about it. I always feel like if you're going core Ogre, or at least oh, there you go, she does have the gloves of haste. She stops for a null talisman and a magic wand, but I want naked Midas. You know, I'm not happy unless it's a naked Midas.
Oh, absolutely. It's the SEA way. You've got to go naked Midas. Not this time though for Miri.
It's always like, by the way, that's when you get, you know, when you get a core who's playing support for role queue, it's either Pudge or the naked Midas Ogre. It's one or the other. It's like, there you go. I know you played anti-mage in the previous game, sir.
Thanks.
Which one would you prefer? If you had to choose between support Pudge or support Ogre with a naked Midas, which one would you choose?
I think I'll take the Ogre. At least at one point he'll be useful.
That is fair. No hooks to miss, I guess.
Oh, Gia. Well.
Top lane. Zoya in trouble, but still juking out quite nicely as the Curse Crown's gonna land. Lagaya still moving on to 1, but might need to back off now as she's dropping quite low. The baby unable to get it done.
I heard a Laguna Blade. Looks like Mira did take a Laguna Blade to the face, but she is just gonna be surviving. And yeah, this is the problem when you're facing up against Ogre. You can't kill her. She is just unkillable.
Look at top lane though. Lagaya again moving in onto the Ogun. Well, there's one's gone. The baby gonna keep trying to fight, but now without any mana, she's not really dealing any damage. Here to Helzelia. She doesn't have the mana void either, so I don't think she can keep going. She'll try to blink away, but she might still tick out to the poison damage. Oh no.
It's a double kill. Insane. Oh my god. I love when she burned all of Hezelia's mana and then she started tickling her. Like with no there, you're like, oh man, I wish you had mana. I wish I could feed you a mango. You know?
Bot lane. I mean, Ultimo, surprise, surprise, things are not going well in any lane right now here. Red Horse just continue to completely dominate all 3 lanes in this game. Now, in fact, I can't even stop talking because Nicotina goes down now to Miri.
You can't keep up with the kills, Mike. It's happening everywhere. And it feels like they haven't even started playing, you know? Like there's no Midas on Ogre. Ogre's just got literally a null talisman. And still they're 9-1. It's already 82% chance for the Radiant side to do it. Team Red Horse, we said that they are, you know, the stronger team, more likely to win, but they are absolutely crushing it right now. Gia going in for a deep ward, spots out Kikuri. Looks like she's going to make sure that follows her around a little bit here.
Yeah. Very tough time here for Kekuru, though. I mean, look at that farm. Only 2.5k net worth on this Lina.
I have
9.5 minutes in.
I have bad news for you, Mike. There's a big stack on the Dire side. Perfect for a gyrocopter.
that is true. Sharad, oh, she's going to miss the crush. Not going to be able to land onto the Shaman. And Gil's been having a very good time just laughing to herself all game. There's now a rotation is out from Lagaya, and they might try to move in and just snipe somebody here down this bot lane. Problem is, there is an observer ward to scout out any kind of movement, so they should see the Dark Willow any moment now. Thea will go first. Oh, Nicotina. Schwack is there, playing with fire. Homing Missile will now fly out onto Sharad, but she should be fine. With the sprint to get herself out, It should be just that.
By the way, in the meantime, top lane, Oracle was jumped on, used the false promise on herself, and managed to survive against the gank from Demira. So at least that's something, you know. You were able to survive from an enemy mid-rotation.
Yeah,
It's
certainly is something.
I mean, right? It's the smallest positive is that you didn't die. But in the meantime, though, they are starting to rotate some people top lane here.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
T1 tower not going to last very long here as Hazoya and Miri just with the seed creep moving in onto Keikuri, but a nice line strike array. Going to hold them back a little bit longer. But how do you protect this top T1? It just feels like they have no choice but to let it go.
Like, where's the damage? Who's gonna do anything in this fight? And looks like the tower is just gonna fall. Oh, once.
Boy. Yeah, here we go. They'll force the fight. Ogre is out of mana, though, to be fair. Miri gonna try and run her way out. Not much damage to be thrown out, and they've got the mana void to get the job done. That's what they needed. That's something. A big kill here for the Dire, and maybe a bit of an opening.
The biggest target they could honestly get for themselves. Still 6k advantage for Red Horse, but you know, you get one kill, you get a little bit close to that Battle Fury, suddenly Anti-Mage split pushing lanes, and life is not as bad as it was. So, Anti-Mage, though, kind of far from that Battle Fury. He's only got, what, 2 components and 400 gold as well? I don't think we'll be seeing anything faster than a 15-16 minute Battle Fury.
Bonds. Gonna be targeted again. Curse Crown is there. Nagaya. Gonna set up onto the Oracles. Hazoya gonna be around as well. There will be a Fate's Edict, and that will delay a lot of the magical bursts coming out, but only for so long. False Promise up in 1 second. Maybe she's got enough time once. Oh, she's holding. She's holding, and there you go. She's got it. She'll be fine, I think. Hazoya's still trying. She really wants... Oh, she got it too. Just enough damage. Down towards the bot side. Looks like Sharon's going to be chased here by a homing missile. They do at least find D on that Shaman, but it is going to cost them their Pos 3 Slaughter.
Oracle had also like a Tango. She could have eaten the Tango, getting that bonus, you know, double heal for 7 seconds. That could have made a big difference, honestly. But in the end, loses her life. Wastes a bit of time at least, though.
The baby. Gaya, gonna go for the Brambles. Fire Blast is gonna be counterspelled. They don't actually end up going for the Curse Crown, and I suppose it's fair enough. You want the root first, just hold them down long enough to wait out the counterspell. And a big group upcoming from MOOM. They do move into that mid lane. The Gaya. Oh, there's a neutral item just sitting on the floor. There is the Bushwhack. Does fly out. There should be a kill into the Dark Willows. They will secure one. Now, in they go. The Shaman. She'll drop the wards. Hazoya's there as well. They're onto the Anti-Mage. Where's the Blink? It's off cooldown in 1 second. The baby barely going to be able to get out in time. Just barely.
They did. It's just supports, but still pretty too good. You know, pretty solid kills. They might even be able to go farm those wards if they need to. So very good. And there you go. Gyrocopter spots out the stack. And once.
Yeah, caught out again. Gil, no, still alive. This Oracle being very annoying here with all the defense, but never mind. She's gone to the call down as Miri is going to move in now. But who's the target? Hazoya. She's the one to go down as the baby does get the job done. But now with the Terrorize, they might be able to turn right back around. And they'll try. Still this Anti-Mage moving in again onto Gilbert, copping way too much damage from the Rocket Barrage. Needs to leave the area, but the Fire Blast is there. They root her down with the Brambles and just barely get the job done. And you know those stacks you talked about, Otomo?
There they are.
It seems like they have been discovered.
I mean, from the side, I was like, these aren't stacks for Anti-Mage. These are Gyrocopter stacks, sir. They're like, thank you very much for making them for us. It's really saved us so much time. And Anti-Mage doesn't even have the Battle Fury, I think, so she's not going to be able to farm it anyway. Still needs 600 gold for the Void Stone. And that 15-16 minute mark for Battle Fury may have been a bit wishful thinking from my side.
Absolutely.
Well, they are putting a lot of sentries in their own triangle, but they still miss the actual Radiant Ward, which is on the right side of that camp. Oh, Miri.
Here we go, on to Wands. They'll target the Oracle again, but she's been very, very difficult to try and pick off early. As Miri now may have gone too far. She'll at least get the Midas off in time, but she is copying so much damage, and now the Sharpshooter may not actually be enough.
Oh, that
It's the complete opposite way anyway.
was different than the direction I was expecting her to shoot it in, but... By the way, all this time, Anti-Mage is not really farming. Like, she's joining fights, trying to sort of make space, and once.
This time they've got the Oracle. She's been very good at surviving these initial onslaughts, but not this time, not with the immediate stun from Hazelia.
Yeah, and again, the biggest worry for me is just the Anti-Mage not being able to farm. Like we said, no Battle Fury, might get it a bit soon. This is going to be a tier 2, that means that they're going to be able to get the Outpost, which means that suddenly the Dire, the Dire farm is Radiant farm. You can just teleport you whenever you want. And this is one of my favorite things when you have pushing supports, that you can force the tier 2, take the Outpost, make sure the enemy gets no experience, which just feels horrible.
That it does. That it absolutely does.
There we go, Anti-Mage. Has the Battle Fury, there we go.
So far behind though. I mean, this will allow them to catch up a little bit. They need every ounce of net worth they can get right now on the baby. She is trying to get active, which I can appreciate, but she's just nowhere near the level of farm where she can actually get anything done.
By the way, I love Gia's item build, going for the Aether Lens into the Shard. Shadow Shaman Shard is just so good this game. I mean, every game really. Just Shackle, you get all those nice wards, farming for you, pushing for you. A lot of extra damage, so really good.
The baby. Into Gil there for a second, but it's the Dire Triangle we have to watch out for. It's Hazelia looking for initiation. They're by herself, and they do. They found the Anti-Mage, but they've got help. Wands is right behind to make sure, and now with the double crush out, they might be able to counter-initiate. Or can they? The baby, she'll blink out of there immediately, as now Sharon's the one being targeted. In fact, never mind. They want Wands first. They've got the Oracle onto the Slaughter. There should be a second, and it will be a second. Can they find anyone else? They'll try for Nicotina. She'll scurry out. Hazelia will continue chasing, but the brambles will land. Still Miri cutting them off from the side. Oh, they're gonna find Keikuri. That's a much better target. Onto the Lina they go. That'll be the mid laner to drop.
And
At least they find the Gaia, but it's not gonna matter as Gia's got the shackles out. That might just be a hoodwink to drop. Never mind, they'll save.
Oh man, they really need the baby to just push out lanes. Like, it sounds like it's not the weird, like, oh, don't join this fight, but you really need the Anti-Mage just to split out lanes as much as they can. Miri teleport stop, and oh, the baby goes in, but oh, maybe I've walked into her death.
Yeah, maybe. You've got Wands behind, but there's no false promise available. She'll keep going in onto the Shaman, and in fact, she had enough backup that she does survive and even find a kill there onto the Shaman. So, good news for MOOM Esports, but still a long way to go here, Otomo. I mean, 12k net worth advantage. It's not an easy game to come back from.
Yeah, they just stuck a band-aid on like an open wound. You know, like, alright, that's something. We gotta kill. Oh, here we go. Another band-aid, though. This could mean something.
Yeah, Shadow Realm is there in time, but it won't matter. Dragon Slave right through there from Keikuri gets it done. So another good kill.
Alright, the bleeding is starting to slowly, you know. We're stemming the bleeding, Mike. We are coming back here.
Beautiful. That's what you love to hear.
Right? It's like, alright, it's not gonna be a one-sided stomp here, because they are... MOOM Esports, they are putting up a fight. The baby, I know it sounds like not much, but she's also starting to climb up in terms of net worth with that Battle Fury. It's slow, it's taking her a while, but she can start pushing out lanes, maybe get that bottom tier 1, open up the map just a little bit.
Oh, top lane though, Keikuri just trying to farm up, just trying to catch up, but it's not happening. The aggression is out. They'll find another big pick off here as it's starting to really feel like the whole game's just resting on the baby's shoulders now.
Yes.
Because you haven't got this mid laner to kind of rely on anymore.
She's no Lexi from the previous game, you know? She's just not having the same game in this... Sorry, not having the same performance this game. But yeah, what can you do, right? It's like, you gotta put everything in the Anti-Mage basket. When you pick Anti-Mage, that's almost always gonna be the situation. However, this might be a kill.
Yeah, Ligaya getting caught out. Another nice setup here from Sharad. Again, if they can keep just finding these pickoffs one by one, it will eventually bring them back into this game. But top lane now. That was a risky blink in from the baby. If they can get this Hex off, be an easy kill into the AM. Though blink away. Gia doesn't have her own blink, but she might make it. Oh, not quite.
By the way, that ward Gia planted, amazing. Like, you can see how they really have this very deep lane ward. So anyone just walking out, the moment they walk out, you know where they're going. So you can just TP people to the outpost and get that kill. And Gia, she is doing the Twitter build where you just go and throw snakes on the Roshan and kill him.
I was wondering at what point they would go for that. It is a much faster process with these Serpent Wards. And now, oh boy, poor Azelia, look at this. She's stuck. She'll blink out there. She'll be okay. Into the smoke we go.
Anti-mage on the enemy side could be pushing that tier 2, forcing people back. She's waiting to see where anyone shows up. So she's doing good. Like, the baby is very slowly becoming a big threat. Jared, though, might be rushing into her death here if she keeps going that direction.
Yeah, nice stun out from Hazelia.
The baby
not reacting quite fast enough, and she's gone.
had a ward there, unfortunately, but it just was not enough. And that's your win condition falling.
And it is not good news at all here for MOOM. Now, you can surely just start to try and approach that high ground. His lines have been actually drawn out through the bot lane, so it does seem like Red Horse, they want to go through the bot lane to try and get those towers down. At least the final outer tower. But the rest of the team, they're going to run north. Miri, Hazelia, and Ligaya looking for more targets. It seems like they're going to miss out on everyone. His TPs are out. And instead, now the pinks have come out towards the bot lane. So it seems like maybe MOOM can find some kills here onto Gil.
I'm looking at the lead, and she has a boots of travel, but like, where do you travel? Where do you actually go? Do you go mid? There's, there's 3 enemies there. You go bottom, but oh, this could be a big thing. Gil does have the Aegis.
They could find the Aegis. BKB's up though. Gil gonna fight back with the lifesteal. Is still fine, and now that call down gonna land on Keguri. So they should at least find the Lina, and they will. At least for now though, she does survive a little bit longer. False promises there, and now Ligaya in the backside with the Terrorize, making sure there's no helping coming. Nicotina, she'll try to back off into the tree line, but it's not going to be enough. Into the tier 2 we go.
They did burn the Aegis, that is something. So, I don't know, you could be happy about that. The baby though, maybe not the time to neutral creeps there. Needs to push the top lane as fast as she can so she can get back in time to defend. But look at the snakes, look at the wands. That's going to be her life gone as well.
Yeah, very, very easy. That should be the tier 2 tower. Tier 3 tower. No problems to go down here. You start to wonder, how do you defend here for MOOM? Like, it's been a very tough game already. The baby's still just nowhere near that point where she feels comfortable enough to try and force a fight with the team. So it looks like they've accepted the fact that they'll lose one lane of barracks, but I mean, quite frankly, it feels like they just keep going.
There's just so many stuns, right? Like, the baby, if it was just Shadow Shaman, you can say, oh, we'll just jump the Shadow Shaman. But you jump Shadow Shaman, there's, Dark Willow, there's a Dragon Knight, there's like, literally everyone has a stun on the Radiant side. And you can't time your spell shield well enough to dodge all of them. It's just impossible. Oh, look, Ogamaja has a Dagon. That's fun. It does multicast, but on different people, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, if it multicasted on the same person, that would be pretty funny.
How fun would that be, though? That would be so awesome.
It'd be amazing, now that you mention it. That would be actually incredible. Hopefully...
One of the interesting things, apparently Solar Crest also multicasts on enemies, but not on allies. That's an interesting one.
All a feature, Onomo. All just a feature.
Spring cleaning,
Hazelia, with the baby looking for an attempt.
Gil is in the top lane.
You've got Sherrod around. There's your double crush up. But they don't have the follow-up to it.
I mean, Gil is still in the top lane, but they don't know. So they're still hesitant to take this fight. Although she does walk near Observer Wards there. They're just scared. They're like, do we really want to jump on Miri?
Dire's top tower is under attack.
We go. The top tier 3 tower under siege now with the dragon form. It's not too difficult. Keep in mind, Hazelia actually has the Ags up, so once she hits level 18, she'll have the Black Dragon. They've already maybe found that Hoodwink, but no. once does save the day on the Oracle.
Dire's top tower.
But
Zoya again onto Keikuri, but doesn't have the follow-up.
sharpshooter, I don't know if it hit Hazilia enough. Oh, that's a good jump.
Yeah, another nice crunch out, but can they get the follow-up damage out? They've got Hazoya down, but they're gonna lose 2. They might even lose 3. There goes the baby without buyback, and this game is looking about over. There's 3 heroes down without buyback available. Surely you can get the Megas up now.
Yeah, I mean, it was a risky jump. It gave them the best chance they had, but they were so far behind. It's basically just the baby against the world, and Anti-Mage just you can't carry that. You can't carry it when you're like 20,000 gold behind. 2 racks is down, mid rack still standing. Looks like Red Horse Gaming. They're saying, all right, let's chill. Let's not throw our advantage. Let's not go up high ground without Hazilia. They do sort of use her as that big frontline tank. She just jumps on someone, gets a stun. If she dies, she dies. Nobody really cares. So they're taking their time here. They want to be careful.
Yeah.
Well,
Tina. Lane. She's going to be all right, just defending. And, surprisingly, Otomo, they just didn't go for the final lane of barracks, so maybe just unaware that the buybacks probably weren't there.
I mean, they also didn't have their Dragon Knight, right? So they're like, yeah, let's just take it in full force. If they lose, they are forced in a 3-way tiebreaker. So I imagine they're like, hey, listen, girls, like, I'm here just for a day. I got a couple hours. I don't want to be here for a 3-way tiebreaker, Like, let's just get this over with as fast as we can. Let's not rush it and make a mistake.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Tiebreakers make things very, very interesting if they do happen. And Sharad going to jump in onto the Shaman again. They want G and they've got her. That's a great target. The Terrorize now going to land on 2. They might have enough time to take care of this AM. But no, Lance saving the day. The baby finds another. Trying to blink out. Fire Blast is there, but it's not going to be enough from Miri. Still, it's a 2-for-2 trade. There's no case for a bit more here. The Radiant are not done. Nicotina will eventually get caught by the homing missile, and that'll be a triple here for Gil.
Yeah, they got
With the Dragon form, they'll go.
all the kills they got were just on the supports. The core still ready to fight, still available. Dragon Knight's got his Dragon form for some time, and we're getting very close to that Satanic for the Gyrocopter. He's actually got the Morbid Mass. He's getting there. So you got 2 kills, and that's nice, but you didn't kill anyone who's actually sort of vital towards the push. Can they kill Miri though? They could find her. She's just so tanky. She's just so tanky. And now everyone's awake for the Radiant side. Red Horse, everyone's teleporting in. Once this Gia gets close, she drops those Serpent Wards. It is bye-bye Raxus, and almost guaranteed.
Yeah. Funnily enough, the baby is the only hero on the map right now with buyback available. So, assuming the Dire just ends up kind of dropping too many bodies, that's pretty much it. It's the baby versus the world.
Slaughter almost has to buy back in about 30 seconds. She will have it just from the natural gold, but yeah, no one else will be able to sort of contribute if they die. And there's the snakes.
Are fortified.
Snakes down. Serpent wards have been committed. Glyph was forced out, but they re-glyphed the creeps as well to protect that creep wave.
Oh, Gia, they see her. Or do they?
Big wrap around, but there's your stun. Keikuri has been caught. Sharad will try to help out. Keikuri, she'll get the BKB off in time, but Gil, there's too much damage. This Gyrocopter just taking them out. They just melted. All of them just melted. And now Gia. Oh, she'll find the last target. Last piece of the puzzle's gone. Do you just call it?
I mean, realistically, yes. But this is Southeast Asia where they are pride on the line. This isn't disgraced family girls, This is... Well, this is MOOM, or what they call GGs. Alright, they are disgraced family. In the end, it was tough. Obviously, this is... Red Horse might be just the strongest team in the tournament overall. So they held on as long as they could, and they just cannot hold on any longer.
It was a good attempt, but that does mean, at least for us, there is going to be no tiebreakers coming up. So Red Horse, again, proceeding. MOOM ESPORTS, I believe, remain on a 0 score. So does that mean they're out, Otomo? They are officially out now?
I believe, actually, all the brackets are basically done. I could go run through them just to tell all our viewers which teams advanced, which didn't. But yeah,
please.
All right, so we have from Group A, we have Team Red Horse, we just saw and Run It Down. They both have Red Horse has 3 wins, Run It Down has 2 wins. No one can catch up. Foxy Gaming, Disgraced Family Girls will also be advancing from Group B. Then we have Roar and we didn't see any games from Group C, but these 2 are advancing. And lastly, we have Chicken Cordon and Lugiyama will also be advancing from Group D. So we basically know what we can expect during the playoffs. We have our top 8, but yeah, in this game, Red Horse, I mean, it's all you can really say is that it was a pretty one-sided affair. Red Horse was really never behind. They had the draft they wanted. They shut down the baby, who was really their only chance of a comeback. And it was just kind of a one-sided affair, as sad as it is to say. Now every game is a close one, like Game 2. Red Horse, strongest team so far.
Yeah, but I mean, speaking of close games, though, now we go into best of 3s, if I'm not incorrect in saying so. So I believe the closeness is about to come out, I'd say.
I hope so.
I can't wait to see. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I can't wait to see what happens in a best of 3. I believe we are going to head off to a break, though, Otomo, and right after that break, we'll be back with a best of 3 series between 2 new teams. We'll see you then.